Total Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Jones.
Good evening. It is the NFC Northeast Power Hours. Normally, I'm joined by my co-host, Dan Leonard, but he is not here tonight. So we are going to talk a little NFC North and East game previews here. You know that tomorrow morning we have the game in Germany in Tottenham, and I think they gave this as punishment for the Holocaust because they gave them the Giants versus Panthers at this poor town. Paul Jones in the house. Yes, we got Giants at Carolina. I'm thinking Carolina covers. They got them as a 6-point dog. And I think that's a lot for the Giants to cover because offensively, with their old line, they look bad this year. And Carolina is slowly starting to play better and tighter with some of the better teams that they've faced. Granted, the Saints aren't that good, but they couldn't beat them. Yay! Good evening, Danny. How are you? Hope everything's good down there in the Carolina. That's my actual daughter. That's my daughter. New England goes at 1 o'clock to face off against Chicago. I chose New England just because, well, fuck the Bears. No, I think there's a lot of dysfunction in that locker room in Chicago. There's a lot of things going on. It looks like Moose has lost the team. And it may be a long day for Chicago. Good. Glad you're getting settled in, kiddo. Then we got Minnesota taking on Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville has a shot in this game. I don't know what's going on there in Jacksonville. They've got a good roster. They just can't seem to get anything right. Green Bay's on the bye, and that leaves us with Detroit at Houston. And we all know how I feel about that. I got Detroit whooping. No Will Anderson. Left guards out. Hank Dell's banged up, but gonna play. I think Nico got added today. I'm not sure. Haven't seen that designation yet. But there is an interesting meetup in Dallas at 4:25 p.m. and that's Philadelphia at Dallas. I got Philly winning. But then there's that record that Sirianni has in Dallas. He, since Sirianni has been there, he's 1-5 in Jerry's world. For some reason, they got his number, and one of the quarterbacks that has his number is Cooper Rush. I don't know why. It makes no sense. And the other matchup is Pittsburgh at Washington, and that's a 1 o'clock game. And that one intrigues me because, but I did find out Marshawn Lattimore can't go this week. He actually does have a hamstring issue. He wasn't faking it like Devontae Adams. So he won't be playing this week, and I think that gives an edge to Pittsburgh. But at the same time, Washington has played some decent team stuff. I think it's going to be a battle, and it's in Washington, and that fan base is just as rabid as the Lions right now. They're so happy their team's doing good. For some reason, I think Washington wins. And that's all the matchup. Now, let me go see if there's any injury reports in. Because if there is, yep, he was activated, but still remains questionable. So here we go, the news roundup. Game day elevation for the Cardinals was Devad Wilson. Let's see, let's get into the East stuff. Carolina Panthers. Xavier Woods was fined $16,883 for the unnecessary roughness hit on Chris Olave for his concussion. Ryan Bates was activated from the injured reserve. Dak Prescott is having season-ending surgery on his hamstring. Game day elevations is wide receiver Jalen Moreno Cropper and cornerback Josh Butler. Denver Broncos Luke Wattenberg was activated from the Bryant was fined $20,000 for his hit that led to the ejection and also the finger bomb. So Jerry Hughes is finally activated. And now Jeff Okuda is downgraded to out. So the roster cut was D'Angelo Ross, and the game day elevation is Tommy Togai. So I don't know if we see Jerry Hughes this week because he was just activated. The same with Nico Collins. He was just activated, but he was limited in practice all day. Laquan Treadwell makes an appearance this week. For injuries, Devin Duvernay hamstring is activated from the reserve, and Andrew Wingard, their safety for Jacksonville, is elevated. Minnesota. Outside linebacker Gabriel Murphy for Minnesota was downgraded to out for Sunday's game. Game day elevation is long snapper and former Lion Jake McQuaid. Giant Graham Gano was activated from the injured reserve. Game day elevations is Isaiah Hodgins and linebacker Curtis Bolton. Philadelphia. Ben Van Sumeren, Bay City native, has been taken off the injury report for his concussion and will report for Sunday's game. Uh, Pittsburgh gets Ben Skronik back and also linebacker Tyler McTavish. They cut running back Jonathan Ward and safety Terrell Edmonds. Washington, their tight end, the 3, was placed on the injured reserve with a hamstring injury. Colson Yankoff. Austin Seibert, former Lion, was downgraded to out, and Tyler Ott is out. with an illness. I know we could have won. I didn't think we'd even have a chance. The fact we covered the point spread is amazing. Indiana's a damn good team. That's all I got to say. But they signed Zane Gonzalez to the practice squad for the Commanders, and Chris Rodriguez was signed to the active roster from the practice squad, running back. Game day elevations is defensive end Efete Obada and Zane Gonzalez. So Zane will be kicking for the Commanders. So that kind of stinks that Austin Seaver hurt. But I'm excited about Ben Van Sumeren. Kid graduated from Essexville Garver High School. I knew his brother. Brother passed away not too long ago, a couple of years ago. Ben Van Sumeren's a good kid. Corn-fed Bay City country boy. And that's the roundup of all the injuries. And Saints expect to place Chris Olave on concussion injured reserve. His concussion was that bad. I just wanted to do a brief synopsis of everything and tell everybody what's going on with the games tomorrow. But I did get some Lions news about elevations and stuff. And let's get into that because our special teams guy that is vice president of the NFLPA, Jalen Reeves-Maven, was put on the injured reserve and might possibly be out of the season. We waived defensive lineman Isaiah Thomas. We signed Shane Zylstra, Abraham Beauplan, and Al-Qadim Muhammad to the active roster from the practice squad. Elevated linebacker Ezekiel Turner and offensive lineman Jamarco Jones from the practice squad. But I think they waived Isaiah Thomas because he really hadn't done much in the game. 2 games he had a chance to be in. And we got Zadarius Smith. So it looks like we're making room to make another practice squad add to me. I still want it to be Isaiah Carter. Or Andre Carter. Second. I gotta go check something here. I want to see if somebody is in the lineup for the second. Yeah, Yannick Ngakoue was waived, and he was already picked up by somebody. I believe the Patriots grabbed him, if I read right. All right, here. Oh, Nico Collins was added into the parlay, so he might be playing, guys. He wasn't there this morning. I double checked. He must have been added not too long ago. So Nico might be playing tomorrow, but he's still a game time decision according to that activation. So we'll find out more at 11:30 a.m. because that's when they decide those questionable guys if they're in or out. And we saw some that were questionable, and lo and behold, they ended up being out for the Lions lately. So questionable doesn't always mean probable anymore. They're using it to mask stuff. Oh, Nico does make them much better, but their O line has been the problem this year so far. least that's what I've seen. I haven't been that defense. While it's second in the league in yardage, it's 14th in scoring, 30th in red zone protection. It's they've got a lot of holes there. One thing I have noticed. They're also, I think they were ninth, tied for ninth in third down stopping, which, hey, more power to them. Yeah, Noah Kuda being downgraded to out. I kind of wanted to see him play against us because I wanted JMO to torch him. That's just me. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but I really wanted to see him do bad against JMO and Amon Ra. Is that evil of me? Nah. So, what do you guys think? Do you think Carolina can pull off the upset and beat New York in Germany, or do you guys think New York's defense is too much for them? Because I don't think the Giants' offense are too much for the Carolina Panthers' defense. That's just me. I love it when you guys are in the chat. Don't forget to go out there and like whatever platform you're on. Hit the like button. You think Panthers are going to win too? Yeah, I just got that gut feeling. It's like they made a turnaround. I think sitting Bryce was probably the best thing for him because that allowed Canales to work with him more in one-on-one situations versus with all the coaches. Because we saw what Dave Canales did to resurrect Geno Smith. This is his first time working with a rookie, and I think that's the biggest difference. So it probably takes longer for that QB juice to stick. And we saw him give Baker Mayfield his confidence back last season. Oh, wait, look. It's Garden Gnome Leonard. He made an appearance. Kitty Ken dropped in to say hi right meow. Meow. Oh, I can't help it. I've got them. I got to use them. They're funny. Don't forget that Monday we're finishing the giveaway. Let's see. There are 7 spots gone. There are 8 spots left. If you want a spot, make sure you let me know, and you can send it either by Zelly by PayPal or by Cash App. I believe even Leonard has Venmo, but it's $10 a spot. We're doing 15 spots. 8 of them or 7 of them are taken. Yeah, Woody's great. And Gummy Nut and Jimmy. Yeah, it's nice when somebody else gives them some credit. Dr. Detroit, how you doing? How you feeling about this game tomorrow? It does look like Nico's going to play. Tank Dell right now, it looks like he might play, but he's dealt with the back issue all week. Nico's just coming off that hamstring. I don't know if they're going to push him right away with just being activated, but they did activate him today before 4 p.m. But I don't think it's going to be an issue because of their red zone defense and the fact that they let teams get into the red zone a lot. They have a 69.6 red zone defense for letting people score, and we get to the red zone 65 to 67% of the time. So I think that behooves the Lions, and that's why I gave the score prediction I did. I think it's going to be like 32-21. They are going to have the roof open because it's supposed to be a clear night down there in Houston. I know, isn't it crazy, Doctor? I mean, uh, Doctor, we talked quite a few times when I was on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, if you remember right, when I was on the Free for All Friday. And man, I am just I don't remember us having this deep of a team for talent. It wasn't as much as about what we have at the top level, but how no matter who goes out, somebody comes in and plays. Oh yeah, this is a custom hand painted mini helmet that my co-host made, and we're raffling that off, Doctor. The same one that's on this that he made for me. That's my Christmas decoration. That's why it's up in the corner here. That's a little smoking Jeremy B. Ooh, I love that. Yeah, he hand painted this one though. Eddie Grimes in the house. We are also doing custom jersey orders here pretty soon. In other words, if you want it with your name on it, say Dr. Detroit and whatever number you love, we can do that. You got your salute to service hoodie today? That's awesome. Did you hear? Yeah, oh yeah, you know about Danielle doesn't know. Danielle, if you're still here, put a comment in the chat. The Lions Nutcracker, yes. Or it's my version of the Nutcracker. I like to call this one I Cracked My Sweet Nut. See, this is what I like about having my own channel. I can just be fun with it. I'm hoping my daughter's still in the chat. because I want her to see the announcement. I don't know if she came into the chat in the last show. I, I am so humbled, proud, and excited for my brother. I think that's amazing that he gets to do that as a member of the service tomorrow. I, I'm going to be sitting up watching NFL Fox all day until it's time for the Lions game, of course. Wish me luck. I'm on limited funds. I hurt my back. Been doing only 20% of my work schedule lately. Yes, 100%. I think it's amazing that they do that every year with Gronk and the little stunt people. I don't know what he's doing, if he's jumping out of a box or jumping out of a plane again, whatever he's doing. But the fact that they make the service members a part of that, it's such an honor. I'm happy for him. And this year, Dr. Detroit, I know you were there as a fan, but I was there at the draft too in the media room. It was so great to meet Harry on in person up there in the media room. And I was one of the 10 people that got to ask a question, but I literally edited the recording. Yeah, I got in when they did 2-year enlistments, Dr. Detroit. I wish I'd have stayed in now. If I knew everything was going to go the way it did, I would have. There's only one problem with that. I wouldn't have had my two oldest children, including my daughter Danielle, that was in the chat earlier. And this is one of the reasons why I love this service that I use. It's called Restream, Dr. Detroit, because the chat scrolls across the screen. I don't have to put it up on there. It automatically comes up for me. Oh, 100% I could use the retirement money now that my back's screwed up. I would love to have gotten my 20 years in. Because back when we were in, 20 years was a full enlistment. Remember that? Now it's 30 years and 40 years to get full retirement. My, how times have changed. Oh, I bet he is. That's amazing. When you got two retirements like that, you are living large. Oh yeah, easy. I know because he's probably getting about two something from the military and another 3,000 from Ford. I get you. Because I bet your brother did his 20 years and got out back when the wages weren't so high in the military, is why I put it at that amount. I know they get a cost of living increase, but it is nowhere near enough. Prayers up for you, brother Patty. Can I go back and do it all over now? You're 63. Well, I'm 54. I'm only 9 behind you. I wish I could go back and do it all again. Uh, If we, that's like, what would you do if you could go back in time and say 3 words to yourself? You could either say, stay in military or invest in Google. I like that last one. Yep, stay in, dude. But I like that invest in Google one too, because think about it. If you'd have took the money you had when pretty right now, or invest in Bitcoin as soon as it came out. Don't join Air Force is what I would tell myself. Well, Joseph Austin, I hear you, but at the same time, if my nephew didn't do it, he wouldn't be working for Lockheed Martin right now. Right, some guy worked at Google in the at the at the beginning and sold his shares, they'd be worth billions right now. Yeah, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I hear you, Patty. That's one of those blue pill, red pill moments because at the same time we say we'd go back and save their life. Every now and then, when does it happen? Then I've often thought about this because of things I've been through. Who would I save if I could go back in time? There's one answer. Okay, yeah, Doctor Detroit. Hit follow me on Facebook too, Smoking Jeremy B. That's what it is, and hit me up with the message, and we can talk about doing stuff like this. As a matter of fact, if you ever want to be on the Friday Fan Cave Chat at 9 p.m., you're more than welcome. Or I'll look you up. I mean, who invents a time machine with only one site? Well, due to time paradox, you would invent one with only one seat. At least I would, because if you change one blade of grass, um, deviate from the original timeline at all, you massively change the future. I've actually studied time paradox in my for fun. Yeah, I know it's crazy on Facebook. What Lions play would you go in time to change? That's a good one. The butterfly theory. Yep. Uh, what Lions play would I change? I wouldn't have took our backup quarterback out to put Rodney Pete in the playoff. That was the year we won the division with our backup quarterback, and he didn't even get to play in the playoff game because Rodney Pete got health got healthy, and then he went and played for the team that kicked our ass. Wasn't that Hipple that got us there that year, or was that Hipple got us to the year that Eddie Murray missed? Had to be Kramer. Am I right? I'd go back and not draft Joey Harrington, or draft Joey Harrington and not hire Marty Moringwig and Matt Millen. That might have helped. I'd rather do that. Not have Matt Millen. don't get Matt Millen. You don't get Bobby Ross. You don't get Bobby Ross. Barry Sanders doesn't retire. He breaks the rushing record. And Emmett Smith has to retire because he can't touch it. The stink of Matt Millen will always be around. I call it the decade of despair. You remember the decade of despair always. Well, that's pretty much all I got for us tonight. Um, I do have a couple of memes that I made up. I got to do a couple more. But this was David Montgomery getting our first down. All right, Dr. Detroit, great to see you. I want to say thank you to all of you who watched tonight. Normally, I do the countdown and everything. Lions passed on Tom Brady 6 times. I would only pass on him 5 times. But I'm getting ready to sign off here because it's late. It's Saturday night. I had a long night last night. It's been a pleasure to come and bring you the news about the games coming up tomorrow. But I do have to give homage to one guy, and that's my employer, Brandon Service, because they sponsor my show. They are here in Flint, Michigan, South Grand, the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, where in Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up, depending on size and condition. New tires. Call to get your quote. Talk to George Red or myself, 810-233-8230. I am there on Saturdays. Next weekend, I'm there all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 to close. You mentioned this ad and you're buying tires. If you buy 2, you will get $5 off. If you're buying a set, you get $10 off, whether they are new or used. I'm trying to get the price increased on the new discount. It's been my pleasure talking football with you gentlemen and the lady known as my daughter. May you all have a blessed and happy weekend.